Bibliophiles of the internet, my name's Adriana, and today I'm here to highlight my top 5 science fiction and fantasy books at the top of my want to read list. First, really quickly, I want to mention that now that we're officially in April, we have 5 new read-alongs happening for the Booktube SFF Awards. The read-alongs are held throughout the entire month on Goodreads, and these are for A Gathering of Shadows, The Hidden Oracle, Crooked Kingdom, Edge Dancer, and Descender Volume 2. So if by chance you want to join in on any of those, I will link all of the official Booktube SFF social media in the description below. But let's get back to talking about some SFF books at the tippy top of my want to read list. I'm going to start with The Edge of the Abyss by Emily Skretski. This is the recently released sequel to The Abyss Surrounds Us, which I read in February and was quality as hell, just everything I wanted in life. Obviously, I can't talk about the events kicking off this sequel, but I can say that this series is about ladies loving ladies. It's about being badass and fighting alongside these huge genetically modified sea monsters. It's about Cassandra struggling to survive among legions of bloodthirsty pirates. Like, what more could you want? Next, I want to talk about Mask of Shadows by Lindsay Miller. This book is set to release later this year in September 2017, so this is actually an arc that I requested, and it's one that I count myself very, very fortunate to have in my hands. This is YA high fantasy and also queer lit because the main character, Sal Leon, is a gender fluid thief, and one day they steal a poster announcing open auditions for the Left Hand, which is another name for the Queen's personal assassins. So Sal realizes this is a once in a lifetime chance, and they go to these auditions only to find out that it's a fight to the death, and there are many more experienced assassins present, but Sal has to press on if they want any hope of setting in motion a larger plan. This just sounds amazing, and it's incredible to be holding a book that uses the word genderqueer in the synopsis and displays Sal's use of they, them, their pronouns again in the synopsis. It just means so much, and I can't wait to read this book. Continuing on, I'm always thinking about how I desperately want to read The Privilege of the Sword by Ellen Kushner. This is the sort of sequel to Swords Point, which was the first in a companion trilogy made up of queer fantasy of manners type stories. This one is about Catherine, who is a proper well-bred country girl, well-versed in the rules of conventional society, but when she's taken in by her uncle Alec, she realizes he has absolutely no regard for society's rules. Alec decides it would be far more amusing if instead of embarking on the traditional path to marriage, instead his niece dedicates her life to mastering the art of swordplay, and from that moment on, Catherine's life completely changes. Also, I'm pretty sure Catherine is bisexual and courts a lady in this story, so that's a sweet bonus. But seriously, I love Swords Point so much. I think about it all the time, and I just remember how satisfying of a story it was to read. I remember its sense of adventure, its whimsy, its vibrant characters with so much fondness, and it's just a world I very much want to return to, which is why I need to actually read this. Next, I want to talk about a book that I own as an ebook, and that is Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. This is Own Voices queer lit, I'm pretty sure, about a character named Jessica Tran who is descended from a long, impressive lineage of superheroes, but she herself has no superpowers. All she wants is to beef up her college applications, and she finds the perfect paid internship only to find out that if she got it, she would be working for the town's most notorious supervillain. On the upside, she could also be working with her longtime crush Abby, but at what cost? Again, this just sounds amazing. I'm always here to support stories that explore the intersections between Asian identities and queer identities. I've heard incredible reviews from people whose voices I very much trust, and I just really want to read this and become an advocate for this book. And lastly, I want to mention a book that I'm legitimately angry at myself for not having read yet, and that is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Because I haven't actually read it, I don't yet know the best way to describe it, but I know it's supposed to be very progressive in terms of sexuality, gender, identity, culture, etc. It's about a ragtag spaceship crew made up of all these different species as they journey to the edge of the universe because they're trying to build a hyperspace tunnel to a distant planet. I honestly can't explain why I haven't read this book yet. I've tried so hard to make space in my life specifically to read this book, and especially now that the sequel's out, I thought for sure I would have found the impetus to read it by now, but apparently not. What gets me is that I know for a fact I'm going to love this. It's a guaranteed win, and I have no idea what's holding me back. It's gonna sound like a lie, but I am actually trying my hardest to prioritize this in 2017. So there you have it. Those are 5 SFF books I desperately want to read. The problem is I have so many other books I also desperately want to read, and this is my life. In the comments, let me know if you're adding any of these books to your TBR and if there are any SFF books that you know about that you think I should also know about. But that is everything I had for this Top 5 Wednesday today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye!